sure that her responsibility now to provide oversight over all of the federal government. They like to use this term, a whole of government approach, where we need a whole of government approach from the White House to members of Congress, but also we need NAPA, the NABJ, and other black-owned media organizations to press this course. Now's the time to do it.
Well, look,
just legislation or a reg that says 20% of that $1 billion needs to go to black media. Isn't that just the more simple answer?
Well, again, getting those formulas, getting those policies in place. We've just witnessed 4 years of triage, 4 years of denial. If anything, the last 4 years, the Trump administration did everything they could to put black people out of business, rather than in business. And so now we have to recover not only from the coronavirus, but we have to recover from systemic white racism, terrorism, both on the streets and in the pocketbooks of black-owned businesses.
Robert Patillo.
One of the things that we've seen this year in particular is the need to address black audiences. During the campaigns, there was a special effort made to target black folks, and in many ways that was brought Democrats across the finish line. As we're rolling out the coronavirus vaccine, there's been a great emphasis on communicating with black communities. The military each year is one of the largest advertisers in the country, and they're more than happy to recruit black and brown people for the military, but they aren't spending that money with black and brown media outlets. What can be done legislatively? What can be done put into law that will not violate any what the model legislation out there that would address these issues? Because simply put, this is a line item in a budget issue that could pass very easily. But where's the legislation at, and who's pushing that legislation?
1 second. So before you go there, let me unpack this here. There were people who were patting themselves on their backs about the amount of money that was being spent on black media. But let me be perfectly clear. It simply was wholly inadequate. Now, you're talking to somebody who did get money from the Biden campaign, Ossoff and Warnock campaign, the DSCCC. Was it what it should have been? Hell no. Now, why am I saying that? Because let me be real clear. Political dollars, just like other folk, they expect us to take crumbs, as opposed to appreciating what we actually bring to the table. Now, when folk get in trouble, then all of a sudden they respect us, and then they want to come as the last second. And so what I'm talking about here, because I dealt with the same thing dealing with the DSCCC. We were on a phone call with the white ad buyers, and they sitting here with what are your metrics, what are your numbers, all this sort of stuff along those lines, and they were not treating us being like a media company. They were treating us like a specialty, like you a celebrity. I'm like, no. Talk to me like you talk to CNN. Talk to me like you talk to Fox News and all the Atlanta radio stations and TV stations who got paid. And so as all of that. See, Ben, if we put the federal government on notice, private industry will be on notice. Political parties will be on notice. That's why it's important to get them to act right, because the argument we can make is that's tax dollars y'all are screwing us out of.
Absolutely. Everybody knows the power of the black vote. Biden would not be president. Kamala Harris would not be vice president. The brothers and the election that took place in Georgia would not have happened without the black vote. In fact, the Democratic Party would not be leading the House, the Senate, and the White House if it were not for the black vote. The question is, why do we have to now beg the people who we put in office to treat us right? That's what's at stake. It is not only a question of equity. It's also a question of integrity. It's a question of reciprocity. It's a question of respect. And we are going to press this course like never before.
You know, I get a kick, Monique, out of stuck on stupid people who, one, think they know what we're talking about as if we don't know it, as if we ain't been living this. I mean, you know, I've only been doing media for 38 years. I mean, that's it, just only. You know, then somebody put study CNN, ABC, NBC as a model for international growth. Your ass can't go international if you can't be national, Thomas. See, I mean, stop saying stupid stuff, okay? I can't. How in the hell am I going to go across the pond if I can't even go across town?
That's right.
Wait, was his name really Thomas?
But see, and again, but people don't understand, okay? You do not have a dedicated individual who covers Congress for black media because we can't afford the extra staff. This is a numbers game. Look, I got 12 people who work for me. Do you know a bunch of black newspapers ain't got 12 people? And again, it's capacity. If you're not getting the dollars, you can't hire people. You can't hire people. You can't cover stuff. You can't cover what's happening in your city. You sure as hell can't cover the state. You can't cover the nation, and you can't cover the world.
Okay, yes. Is it my turn?
Yes, go.
All right, I'm ready. So from last night, and thank you, Roland, just in the middle of the night, the wee hours of the morning, coming onto my live. But I want to continue that conversation because I was talking about this word equity and the difference between equity and equality, and how grateful I am for this current administration that understands that it's not just nomenclature. And where I guess I would disagree, I'm not going to disagree with Dr. Chavis. I love you, Dr. Chavis. God bless you. But the rest of y'all, the way that I'm going to disagree is it's not just money. Because when we look at the difference between equality and equity, and then if I dare go from equity to justice, what I'm saying is equality is everybody gets the same thing. You get 3 apples, you get 3 apples, you get 3 apples, you get 3 apples. It's too late for the United States with that because we have slavery in the vestiges of it. We have discrimination in the vestiges of it. We have Jim Crow in the vestiges of it. We have redlining in the vestiges of it. We have inadequate school systems in the vestiges of it. So we're living in what could have been equal 3 centuries ago, but no. All right. And so we got to get to equity. And that's where President Biden and Vice President Harris, thank you, black woman winning, and the administration, they're saying, but it's equity because equal doesn't matter if one person only has 1 arm and the other person has 2. So what we got to do now is we got to give ladders. We got to give extra funds. We have to give incentives. We have to make ways so that the result, the outcome is equal. And I'm thankful that they understand that difference. GW, George Washington University, I think it's their Milken Institute. They have a great study on this of equality versus equity. What is the difference? What does it mean? Why is it important for disenfranchised people? So I would encourage you all to go and look that up right now. I will give you the website, but Roland get mad at me if I look at my phone. Mm-hmm. So
Ben, go ahead.
Look that up. But here's the thing. They go further and they say equal is you get a ladder, you get a ladder. My tree has a lot of apples on my side. We on the same tree. Your side is barren. Equity is I've got a ladder, you've got a ladder. I've got some apples, you got a few apples. We're helping you reach a little bit higher so you can get to some of my apples. Justice.
All right. Monique, you're repeating yourself now. You get like Scott. You get like Scott.
But that sounds like equitable.
You get like Scott. Hold on. Ben, respond. I got it, Monique. Ben, respond. Ben, respond.
I think that we should not get hung up in the semantics of the difference between equity and equality and empowerment. We need all 3.
It's not semantics.
And I think that we have to press the course. There's no difference of opinion. The question is, what are we going to do about it? We have a problem. And this problem is a serious, systematic problem. And we need to work together to address this problem. Listen, I don't think we should be accepting any inequality. I don't think we should be accepting any inequity, and I don't think we should accept anything that's not going to give us the capacity to empower ourselves, to build our businesses, and raise our communities out of poverty. White benevolence is not going to do it. And that is why I think that we have to demand from a business perspective how to engage these new policies. I think the policy articulation by the Biden-Harris administration is great. The question now is how it will be implemented and what will be the results, not 4 years from now, but now. Our problems are so severe in Black America, we do not have time to have more studies. We know the problem. Now's the time for us to get action. And that is why reparations is just not about money. Reparations is about repairing the damage. And the damage is systematic when it comes to Black-owned businesses.
Look, for me, this is real simple. I keep it real simple. Short term, the amount of money they're spending on COVID, how much money is going to Black media when it comes to outreach and when it comes to the vaccine? That's first. That's what I want to know right now. Second thing, I want to audit on the census money because they're still dealing with that, where that money is going. Is there any money left? Thirdly, the CBC should say there should be a complete audit of every single federal agency to look at every single contract right now, what advertising agency has the contract, and what Black ad agencies are those white ad agencies partnering with, and what Black media are getting dollars from those existing ad agencies. And so that's what should happen. And so, Ben, I don't know who y'all have with NMPA working on that. We can certainly work together on that, but we have to put that information out and expose it, because if people aren't armed with information, then they don't have it. And I dare say Scott's law firm should be looking at filing a significant lawsuit against the advertising industry for their systematic exclusion of Black folks. But that's, Scott, something you can work on. And I'm sure Rainbow Push will want to be involved in as well. And since Monique here, I'm sure she can help Scott as well. So everybody on this panel can go to work.
Then what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Easy. I just gave you the damn plan. See, clearly, clearly, Scott, you know nothing about the Bible. When Nehemiah surveyed the wall and that was damaged, and then he came up with a plan of action, and then he went to the people. The Bible says the people said, "Let us rebuild." See, Dr. Taylor, he don't know nothing about that. Doc, he ain't read Nehemiah. He don't know.
But look, one good thing I can say about Scott Boland, he's the general counsel for the National Newspaper Publishers Association. And the reason why we chose him, we are going to have to take legal action. We're also going to have to do extra legal action. But I think the audit, because see, the thing is, Roland, there have been studies, and so the data is there. The question is now, it's time for action by these federal agencies. And of course, we're going to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus, absolutely, as you recommended. And we're going to meet with the White House. We're going to meet with Susan Rice. I think we need a whole-of-a-government approach to make sure that we don't get triage this time. What happened with the United States Census was terrible. The way they treated the Carl Williams agent, which was the only Black agent, she was a subcontractor. They never contracted with Black-owned ad agencies. They did it with the white agency, and that's why Black-owned media did not get a fair share of those advertising dollars. That only happens every 10 years with the U.S. Census.
All right. Dr. Chambers, if I may, Roland, if I may.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. The attack has to also go to the agency. So when that bid comes out, we're not accepting subcontracts. We need to be a direct contractor. And the way the bid is written has to be looked at. And then you can contest that bid through a bid protest so that we get more direct contracts versus subcontract. Yes,
and I'm saying that's what your law firm is there for. Ben Chambers, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. We're going to keep this thing going. In the words of that financial wizard, Frank Lucas, the gangster, I'm going to get that money.
It's right on TV, right? You just said it, just like that.
He said it.
All right.
Denzel in the movie. I'm going to get that money. Ben Chambers, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Like you went to Texas A&M.
All right, stop talking, Scott. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Show.
Scott, will you be quiet? Every Wednesday, I got to do this. Robert and Monique know how to be quiet when I'm trying to end a segment. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. All right, y'all.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions,